Every year, my husband Mark and I take part of a legacy program through Lifeguard Imaging, which scans our bodies and screens for heart disease and hundreds of different forms of cancer. Tampa Bay is one of only 6 places in the country where people have access to this kind of innovative technology and can take their health into their own hands. I wanted to share with you the ease of getting this done, and later we'll find out our results. I'm with the Director of Operations at Lifeguard Imaging, Frankie Maldonado, and my husband, Mark Pachowski. We are so excited to be back.
We are so happy to have you guys back. Welcome.
I always joke about this with Frankie when he comes in studio. Mark here should be on staff. Like, truly, you think this is one of the best services in Tampa Bay? I
really do. I enjoy it, and having the scan, it's very non-invasive, and for a guy like me, I love it.
We love you, Mark. We love you, buddy.
And it's true, you're in and out, and with the new technology, I understand it's faster than ever.
It is. It's twice the speed of the other one. The newest iteration of Philips technology, the readings have been incredible. Our radiologist who loved what we had before is raving about this one, and we're really happy because, again, while there are other Philips products like this in Tampa, in Florida, and around the country, in the region, it's the only one programmed this way in the entire region, so we're pretty happy about that.
And this is our chance to find out, as part of the Legacy program, whether there's any kind of calcium buildup that's happened over the years, or, God forbid, some kind of cancer that's developed, because this is what the screen looks like.
And you know, it's, again, it kind of takes your breath away a little bit when you hear it said the way you just did, but that's exactly right, Gayle. We're looking for heart disease. We're finding these hundreds and hundreds of forms of cancer. I always say from the spectrum of the deadliest in terms of lives lost being lung cancer to the deadliest in terms of survival, which is what took our fathers, pancreatic cancer, and everything in between. And to think that that can be accomplished in a 5-minute scan, 7 years doing this, I still can't believe it. It's really incredible.
Yeah, and we just heard, like, our old neighbor that we know really well, who looks like the epitome of health, came in. Would you have expected that she had buildup?
Never, never. And that's why it's so important to get this done, because you just never know on the outside what's going on the inside.
And you know, it's funny, Mark, to your point, and I know you guys are a part of what we call our legacy imaging. This is where we emphasize the annual scans, because even this woman who looks like the picture of health and I'm sure is doing everything right has something potentially dangerous going on inside, and nobody knows when that is going to happen. So people come in, and Gayle, again, I always say this, we're hoping you're still perfect, because you're one of the 6 that I've seen in 7 years have a 0 calcium and an unremarkable full body, but we have patients who have these perfect bodies, and then the next year, from one good scan to the next, it could change on a dime. Nobody knows when that can happen.
And I think, you know, as life moves on, our kids are growing up so quickly. I mean, pretty soon we're only going to have our little one in the house. It breaks my heart.
Aww.
And it just speaks to now's the time to act, because you don't want to wait until something's wrong and you miss out on this incredible life experience with your family.
Well, the technology's here, so why not use it? And, you know, why not take advantage of it?
I hope everybody hears that, because you're right. There is no, I'll do it tomorrow, because tomorrow could be walking you down that path of it getting to be too late. So sooner than later, let's get everybody in and help them.
And that's the thing. I mean, I've talked to so many people who have come here, they got the free heart scan, they signed up for the Legacy program, and they did in fact find out something was wrong, and they were able to seek early treatment that, in their words, saved their lives.
Well, that's the thing. Again, that's why we always emphasize sooner than later, get in here, let's get the baseline scan. But very much like women get mammograms, we're doing that annual evaluation to capture the changes. Everything we do is about early detection. We can't stop diseases from growing. I wish we could. We can't. We can find them early, but that's dependent upon the commitment of the patient to get in here.
Well, thank you so much, Frankie. It's always so great to see you, and we're so excited to be back for our scans.
We're happy as well, Gayle.
Thank you for calling Lifeguard Imaging. This is Jessica speaking. How may I help you?
Joining us now with our results is Lifeguard Imaging's Director of Operations, Frankie Maldonado, along with my husband, Mark. It's great to see you, Frankie. And Mark, thanks for coming in.
Absolutely.
Good to see him
Absolutely.
again.
Yeah, exactly. So we got the results and some changes this year. Not for Mark, though. He stayed the same.
Well, I was just saying, it's amazing because, and I think I told you this before, 7 years doing this, I've seen on 2 hands someone having perfect calcium scores of 0 and unremarkable reports, and both of you are 2 of them. It just doesn't happen. Mark is still there. You're not in a terrible situation, Gayle, but we did find some osteopenia, which is a precursor to osteoporosis. Early stages, there's a lot of things that can be done for this. I would say exercise and diet, but you're so diligent about that. You keep yourself in such great condition. But this is great information, again, early on, that you can now discuss with your doctors and determine what, if any, course of action needs to be taken.
Which, in fact, I have done. The minute I got the results, it took me back to my late grandmother, who in the very same place of her spine had osteopenia. My mother, same place in the spine, and now me, third generation. So it's definitely part of a family history. And for them, they both broke their backs because there was no medical intervention back in the day. But now I'm in the early stages, and since I got my results, I've gone to my primary physician, I've done all of these things, and Mark can tell you, because we talked about it a lot, from the supplements I'm taking to the foods that I'm eating, the exercise regimen that I'm doing, and even some intervention that will stop the progression, if not even grow back some bone. It's amazing with this knowledge what you can do to reclaim your health.
Anybody who looks at you is not going to think that you're a candidate for that. You're the picture of health, and I'm assuming there's no symptoms or uncomfortability.
No.
And that's, this is what we're trying to do with the whole body.
Right.
Obviously not just bone density, but also we're looking at these things for every internal organ through our full body scan that you guys are so aware of. But you're as proactive a person, both of you, as I've ever met. And it's good to know you've already taken the steps. You're going to be fine, I'm sure, but again, valuable information.
It really is. And again, this test shows for heart disease and hundreds of different types of cancer, which you and I have talked about this. I was mostly focused on the cancer because my mom was a breast cancer survivor. My dad passed from pancreatic cancer. I've been so hyper-focused on heart disease and cancer that no one's ever told me along the way, hey, Gayle, you need a bone density exam. So I was so grateful that this was part of the scan as well, because that is something I would have left untouched, most likely, which then it could have developed into osteoporosis. So already I've got the medical intervention just days after I got my scan result back.
Well, and to your point, I know that you have a family history, which might create a little bit more concern. But feeling good, a lot of times people put it in the back of their minds. It's not something I really have to be concerned about. But to have that information, to utilize that information, and more importantly, to get yourself on the road of recovery before it gets to that point where it really is dangerous, where bones can be broken. And you said your mother and your
my grandmother both had broken backs.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
But you're still the picture of health. This is
I'm still on the way.
This is why we do the scan together. We want to live a long life together.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Frankie.
Thanks, all right, buddy.
All right. We're going to call right now, 813-582-5222, or visit lifeguardimaging.com. You'll receive a Bloom special offer, a free heart scan when you mention Gayle or Bloom. That's a $599 value. So call today, 813-582-5222 for this special offer. We'll be back with more Bloom right after this.
Preceding portion of Bloom was sponsored by Lifeguard Imaging.